is up, Buff Nation? Welcome into DNVR Buffs Prime Time. We are presented by Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Use promo code DNVR for our first deposit match up to $100.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan is out twerking.
What is he even doing?
Crazy. I don't know. He just sparks all his Twitter drama, then runs away.
He's flying out of town?
He's in Phoenix.
Like flying like a phoenix. He's
trying
rising like
to.
one, yeah. So
How
is
you
he
doing?
going to be on the show tomorrow?
That is to be decided.
Tune in and find out, I guess. That's
There you
what a
go.
great spoiler for tomorrow's show, yeah.
I think I might have to cook something up for tomorrow.
Love it.
So we'll see.
Sounds great.
What's up, chat? What's up, Dre? How are you?
Oh, man, so good. What a great day. Awesome. Just another calm day on Buff's Twitter. Our long national nightmare with a showdown never over. Something about that Colorado State game comes up every single week, I think.
I love it, man.
It's pretty wild.
Can't get enough of it.
Pretty wild.
We'll get to all that. Let's actually talk about the Buffs first.
Let's do it.
It is portal season. It's recruiting season. We are 6 days out from early signing day. We are a little bit less than halfway through this initial 30-day portal period. We've had some commitments, and we are gearing up for a pretty big weekend of visits this weekend as well.
Yeah.
So let's power rank the positions.
Okay, let's do it.
I've broken them up into 11 positions: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, offensive tackle, interior offensive line, interior D-line, linebacker, cornerback, safety. That's 10.
Beautiful.
What am I missing? Edge.
Edge. There we go. Yep, there you go. Great job.
So there's our 11.
Beautifully done.
What do you say? We start from the best position or the worst position?
Best.
Best position?
Positive first. I
Okay.
think Coach Prime would agree with you.
You're right.
He's a positive first kind of guy.
He is. He's a great
Speaking
man.
of positivity, just great stuff on the Prime documentary.
Thank you, man.
Just great stuff. Great stuff.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Ryan's all over it.
I know. He's like the narrator of the whole thing, basically.
Yeah, right. Wild.
I
What
know.
a time. What a time. Wouldn't have thunk it. Wouldn't have thunk it.
We are still living in this crazy timeline.
Does Alyssa make it in there?
I don't think Alyssa made it in there this season. We'll
Okay.
have to get her in next season.
I mean, if you look for her, you'll see Alyssa in the background on a lot of Buff stuff.
She's definitely in there, I'm sure.
Yeah. Anytime Prime's walking into a presser, I see Alyssa.
Yep.
It's like, oh, there she is. That's right. That's right.
All right. Let's start with the strongest position in need. Immediately, my mind goes to wide receiver. That's where I go right off the bat.
Over quarterback?
I mean, I'll throw quarterback in there just for Shador, of course, but
the depth.
we don't have another scholarship quarterback besides Shador right now.
That's not great.
Not great.
That's not great.
But I guess Ryan Staub, actually. So we do have a scholarship quarterback.
Yeah, don't forget about
Played
our
great
ass.
in the final game, but it's
He did.
Colton Allen and Gavin Cold after that.
Colton Allen, what was the last name?
Colton Allen and Gavin Cold.
Boy, when
KULD.
you say those two names back to back that fast,
Yeah.
something else. It did something to my mind. Okay, yeah. You
All
think
right.
wide receiver, a top, and that's with Zagon and wait and see.
I mean, their best receiver still on the team, and Travis Hunter.
Correct.
Jimmy Horn's coming back for his senior season.
He is.
We have Omaria Miller, who had a great game against USC. Didn't really do too much after that, but
All timer.
I mean,
the
we
call
gotta-
from Snoop.
yeah, and we got to factor in guys like Cam Michael and Draylon Miller.
Caleb Mathis.
Caleb Mathis was making plays late in the year. Terrell Timmons just came in as a transfer.
Right. Then the athletes can be factored in there too.
Mm-hmm. Wide receiver number 1 is what I say.
Yeah, I guess that's correct. That is correct.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm kind of conflicted on the offensive line, though, because
I bet you are.
I look at the names and I go, well, this is much better. But we, of course, haven't seen them play yet.
Yeah.
So the question is, how high do we rank them?
Well, And the real question is how high up on the list are the interior offensive linemen going to land? And where are the offensive tackles going to land from there?
Yep.
I think it's too early to talk O-line, though, right?
So then
Is it wide receiver, quarterback, and then we start talking secondary?
I might even say running back over quarterback. Got Alton McCaskill coming back.
Really?
Dylan Edwards. We got Michael Welsh coming in. And then Savion Wilkerson still has eligibility, I believe, but I don't really know what his situation is because he was presented on senior day. He might just be graduating. I don't know.
Super quick side tangent.
Go ahead.
Early in the Prime series, they're talking about what they're looking for in running backs.
Yep.
He mentions more stocky build. He doesn't want tall running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Alto is 6'1", kind of an upright runner.
I know.
Did that made you raise a brow, huh?
I mean, maybe a bit. He loves Alton, though. But we also saw how much he used Hank and how he used Savion Wilkerson later in the year, which fit that mold.
Does fit the mold.
And then Mike Welch, the running back coming in, fits that mold as well.
Certainly Dylan fits that mold.
No,
well, I mean, he's Darren Sproles type.
Well,
you
but
can't
he's not
even see him behind the line.
right. He's short, but he's not like thick and stocky like the other guys are.
Correct. You guys and your Dylan corrections to me. Like I haven't watched the kid play football. Like I haven't broken down football for a decade of my life now. You and Ryan, come with some respect when I make Dylan
apologize,
comps, okay?
Trey.
Jeez Louise.
Do we just go Shador number 2 then? Quarterback's number 2? I mean, he is the best player on the team.
Also, Ryan Staub showed you, like, you're not
That's a good
lost on
point.
a road game in Utah.
Okay.
You could do a lot worse than that.
So let's go quarterback's
Don't you
number
think they'll
2.
get another Scully or transfer in the mix just for depth, too?
They had someone visit last weekend, a quarterback from Kentucky.
So I think it'll improve. It's between that or running back. Yeah, I think quarterback is so much more high end that, yeah, I think it surpasses running back for me. I would make an argument for quarterback over wide receiver, but
Really? Okay, we'll go back at the end once we have a whole chart and we can move guys around.
Let's do
positions around. Next position. I mean, again, I look at cornerback just because Travis Hunter's there.
Travis Hunter carries a lot of weight, no doubt.
And then I look at the safeties as well, just with Shiloh, Cam.
Yes.
Slush had a great first game against TCU. Didn't really see much after that because he got hurt, though.
Trevor still?
Trevor's there, but I don't know if we consider him a linebacker or a safety at this point.
To me, he's in the rotation for the safeties.
Okay.
His OG position.
So you want to go safety or you think running back maybe?
And then Solomon Craig. So here's the thing. We're ranking needs right now. We're not
Yes.
ranking best position.
Well, kind of best positions.
So here's where higher upside from the running back
Uh-huh.
position. That they have a greater opportunity. The guy's already in that room at present. I'm not counting Draylon or anything like that to pop more than the safeties do. Safeties it's an older group. I think their ceiling is a smidge limited. Their floor is super high though.
Yeah.
And you can really rely on them as kind of like the one reliable unit in that defense.
Right.
You know, with Travis. But that's not a unit. That's one player.
So wait, cornerback or safety then?
I think it's... Then you could make a cornerback, though. I might make an argument that they have even higher upside than the running back room, right?
Yes. You could.
But cornerback is a bigger need than running back or safety because I think you need a couple more guys to plug and play a smidge sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Running back, a little on the fence. And safety, it's like, well, if there was that guy who could really raise your ceiling, I'd be in, but it doesn't feel like much of a need. Like, I think they're more or less in a pretty good spot at safety.
Right.
So need-wise, safety is next. If I'm ranking positions, though, I'm probably going cornerback, running back, safety.
Position power rankings.
Position power
yes.
rankings.
Strongest position to the least strongest position.
Okay. Give me cornerback at 3.
Okay. We'll
You're
take
in?
cornerback at yes.
Okay.
I mean, you have 2 5-stars. You've got Omari and Cooper, who kind of disappeared some point through the season.
Yeah.
And then guys like Jaquez Robinson, Carter Stoutmeyer, who played a bunch last year.
Yeah. Yeah. I remain a Breedlove guy.
You're still in on Breedlove.
Of course.
All right. No, just the positions. You don't need a number.
Just the no ones. Okay.
So second or fourth, I guess then. We're between running back and safety. At safety, you also have Jaden Milner-Jones, a young freshman who came in and played a lot later in the season. I might go safety over running back at this point. Just because I think there's a little uncertainty still. I mean, we know Alton's going to be another year removed from the injury.
Yes.
He got through this year healthy.
No,
So-
I mean, there are some unknowns in that running back room, even though we feel pretty good about the upside that, like, we love the upside they bring, but it's far more unproven than the safety unit. By far.
Yes.
Okay. Running back at 5 then, Alyssa.
It's positional power rankings, guys. Positions that are the best from 1 to 11. That is what we're doing.
I broke it down well, though.
Yes.
Huh. Mine was a good question.
Are we ready to throw in the interior offensive line here?
This is where you can start talking about them. Well, who would even be the other units in play? I think don't even consider anyone on the defense now that we got the DBs out the way.
Mm-hmm.
Tight end, definitely not.
No.
So it becomes interior O-line or exterior O-line, better known as the offensive tackles.
Yes.
Definitely give the edge to the interior O-line.
You do have a 5-star in Jordan Seaton at
Big
the tackles, though.
I was
Big
so
C.
disappointed in your draft. You had him 3rd.
No,
How dare
no,
you?
that wasn't a
Like,
draft.
I called
that
him
wasn't a draft,
I
bro.
called him a transcendent talent.
These were the those were the players we were most excited to see next
How could
season.
you have him at 3? You don't like grinding
I
O-line
like
tape anymore?
playmakers, bro. That's why I
Damn
had
it.
Draylon Miller at number 1.
You have always been my wide receiver
Yes.
and secondary guy.
I
It's
stayed true to me
It's
in that
true.
one.
It's true. It must be old age. All I want to do is watch O-linemen, dude. I don't know what it is.
That's how I know. I guess I'm not there yet. 'Cause I haven't.
Good for you.
I'll watch them. I enjoy it, but
For you.
it's not my favorite.
I love it. Good.
All right, let's go interior offensive line.
Let's
next.
do it. Come on.
And then do we do OT right after that? Because I kind of think that's how it goes.
Yeah. It's basically the cornerback safety discussion we just had.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the corner opposite Travis, you feel better about the options there than you do the offensive tackle starting opposite Big C.
I mean, you have Savion Washington.
You have
who
a
started
returning
last year.
starter. Could do a lot worse.
Right. And then you have Khalil Benson,
The
who played
Indiana guy. Yeah.
right tackle at Indiana,
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, that's huge.
I mean, Tyler Johnson's played all over the offensive line. Matthew Bedford, who we talked about yesterday's played at literally every offensive line position but center.
Man. TJ or Bedford make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because the UTEP kid makes most sense. Moved inside at center, right?
He's an interior guy.
Yeah, well, I know
Yeah.
he was like left guard over
yeah,
there,
yeah.
but moving him to center probably makes them just like looking at their frames and stuff.
But you do have a guy on the roster still who started one game at center last year. That's Hank Zelinskis. And he came in for Van when he got hurt in the Utah game.
Big Hank did his thing.
He played pretty well
When
at
he
times.
came in, he did his thing for sure. Yeah, fair point.
Okay, so we're at 8 now. This is where things get dicey, Dre. We have linebacker, defensive line, and
Tight end.
tight end and edge. That's what we're at. I think it's linebacker.
My goodness.
It gets pretty rough. You can see why we're focusing on defense this weekend in the portal.
The case for linebacker being
The case for linebacker being you get Levante Bentley back.
Yeah.
Brendan Gant, who didn't play too much last year due to injury. Demoy Kennedy, same thing.
No,
And
I
then-
mean, just with Demoy, Bentley, and JB alone,
Yep.
you're probably in a good spot. And then Trevor is kind of half foot into this room, half foot into the safety room. That doesn't hurt. Yeah,
Exactly.
shit. I think you're right. It has to be linebacker.
So linebacker at number 8.
I mean, I don't even know how we're going to get through edge, D-line, and tight end, man.
It gets really rough.
Like, just list the ones you feel good in any of those 3 units right now. Bishop?
Mari McNeil played well last year.
Yeah.
You getting some young kids on the defensive line, and Brandon Davis Swain, who's a 4-star. Eric Brantley is another Georgia kid. We don't know what Omar White's situation is still. I might go defensive line.
Yeah, it's probably interior D-line then. It's probably interior D-line. And then just like completely need to rebuild the edge and tight end rooms.
Pretty much. So I'd go D-line, edge, tight end. That's how I'd round it out.
D-line, edge, tight end. Well, now they've at least made some additions in the portal at tight end already.
That is true. Shimon Mateer. Again, we haven't seen him play, though.
Sure, but name me one edge you feel good about going into the season.
Arden Walker.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Most badass looking buff in a jersey last season, I think. Arden Walker.
He's got great uniform aesthetic.
Oh, great uniform aesthetic. McClendon declaring for the draft, yesterday.
Yep. 3 edge guys have declared for the draft from this team.
Yeah, JD as well. Dominic's going to be in. Taj Alston. Right. I mean, just on, I don't know, though. I mean, you're splitting hairs there between the Cincy tight end and...
Yeah. I mean, Shimon Mateer is a 4-star talent in terms of transfer rating. Started 4 games last year, had like 5 touchdowns. He's done his thing, just not in a full-time role yet.
You just need 1.
That is true.
Edges, you do need like 4.
So edge and tight end is what I say.
That's where we're at. That's where we're at. And
edge and then tight end for the last one.
Yeah, and just for the record, I would have swapped those, but I think that's okay. It's your show. I think the graphics should represent your...
We'll talk about it. Taj Alston does also have great uniform aesthetic. Any movements you would do here? Anything that really stands out to you that doesn't look right? I might even consider moving interior O-line up, just with the experience that they have there.
Who would you put it above, though?
I'd consider going over running back at least for sure. Safeties, I know what I'm getting there.
That's how I feel too. Yeah, I could see a case over running back, but I mean, the interior O-line is just as speculative as the running back room, more so.
But you don't.
I can make a better case for Dylan Edwards than anyone in the O-line room. I can make a better case for Alto than probably anyone in the interior O-line room.
But you're adding like 80 combined starts from a few guys in the interior O-line that just weren't here last year.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Way more experienced.
Yeah.
Ken says offensive tackle needs to be last. We can't put offensive tackle last just because of Jordan Seaton. It doesn't happen.
And a returning starter from last year.
Yes.
And a couple like more experienced options from the portal.
Mm-hmm. So are we good with the rankings then?
Yeah, I think we nailed the top 6. You know, I do think you could make an argument for linebacker over offensive tackle.
There's a lot of young talent at linebacker that we haven't seen yet.
And we still haven't given up completely on, Kennedy and Bentley.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Seaton outweighs those guys by a mile, man. Like, it's not even close. So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I just don't think. No. But I mean, all those positions, that back 6 needs to really be addressed and fixed up.
Business Buff says safeties need to be above cornerbacks. Honestly, 6 to 10 INTs came from safeties. That's a good point. They did create a lot of turnovers, but moving forward, I feel like we have better pedigree in the cornerback room with 2 5-stars.
There's some massive upside in that corner room. And you have the best corner in the country, which really makes, that makes a huge difference, man, when you power rank these. having the best corner in the entire country, that's got to that's got to mean something.
Can we see the rankings one more time, Melissa? Cornerbacks at 3.
It's perfect.
Do we move interior line up? I feel like that's the only holdup we have here.
No,
We're good?
I don't think you can move it over running back.
All right. There it is then. So judging by
Locked
that
in.
list, biggest needs you're working bottom to up here for biggest needs.
Yep.
So tight end, edge, interior D line, and linebacker. A lot of defense.
And right tackle.
Right tackle, sure.
You really got to do some work on that front 7.
Yes.
You really got to do some work. Edge, you need like 4. Interior D line, you need like 4. Linebackers, you're gonna need a couple at least. You gotta get that figured out. You give this coaching staff a dominant front 7, a bunch of dogs to get after it with best cornerback in the country covering your butt back there.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be exciting. There's gonna be some stuff to do.
All right. Well, let's talk about those needs because they've already started addressing them.
Yes.
We have another visitor that's come through today. But first, a shout out to our friends over at Prize Picks. Guys, we've got a new partner here.
Yes.
Shout out to Prize Picks for hopping on as a presenting sponsor.
It's great stuff.
Prize Picks is, sorry, let me pull up this read. The largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. They are the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers. With basketball season here, you can now pick combo projections across football and basketball from the Specials League. Basically, what you're doing on Prize Picks, you're picking more or less on stats. Assists, rebounds, points, yards.
I love that.
all
All
kinds
in
of
on
stuff.
more on Jokic rebounds, always. More on Cortland Sutton receiving yards.
Yep.
Samaje Perine receiving
Yes,
yards.
sir.
Javonte Williams rushing yards. And then if I can, I love putting more on any quarterback rushing yards.
That's a
my
sneaky
jam.
great one.
That's my jam.
That's a great
right
one,
there.
too. So there are some of our picks. Prize Picks even offers a reboot policy so that your entire series or your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. That's for football and basketball. If you have a player who exits the game in the first half and does not return in the second half, that player is rebooted.
Boom.
Prize Picks is the only daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. Go to prizepicks.com/DNVR. Use the code DNVR for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/DNVR. And use code DNVR. Daily fantasy sports made easy. And
Nicely
then
done,
also,
man.
huh?
Nicely done.
Thank you, man.
Nicely done.
And then our great friends over at Game Time.
Let's go.
It is basketball season in full swing right now. Maybe
Yeah.
you want to go to a bowl game. Maybe you're in a warm weather city and all of a sudden you got a December college football game that you want to go to. Hit up our friends over at Game Time.
When you're home, is there any chance of a New Mexico Bowl sighting?
I'm not going to New Mexico,
Oh, duh. I know that.
but
sorry.
I don't know if Utah has a bowl.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't.
I think the New Mexico Bowl's this weekend anyway. It's a great game to go to. It's a lot of fun.
It's going to be a fun matchup.
It's literally the most electric football played on that field every year.
That's fun. They had a good season this year, man.
Yeah, they did.
New
They
Mexico
fired their
State.
head coach. Well, New Mexico State. No one cares about the Aggies.
They're in the New Mexico Bowl.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. See, now
it's going to be crazy
Now your
then.
interest is peaked. They're playing Fresno State.
What a game.
Both coaches out for health reasons. So it's for the Gipper game.
Oh, college football is incredible.
Guys, these are the kind of things Game Time offers you. You sign up, you go to the New Mexico Bowl, you're like, holy shit, both these teams are playing for their coach.
Yep. Crazy.
Do it. Only at Game Time.
So there you go. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that promo code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Let's talk recruiting, Dre.
Recruiting season.
It's that time of year, my man.
Sure is.
And the defensive side of the ball is getting all the focus this weekend. Yesterday, we talked about former Liberty defensive back Preston Hodge. He just entered the portal a few days ago, and then he was offered by CU yesterday. He was very, very productive at Liberty, one of the most productive defensive backs in the G5. 48 tackles, 3 TFLs, 8 passes defense, 1 forced fumble, 2 INTs, and a pick 6.
Not bad.
He's coming today.
He's coming indeed, huh?
He is here, basically.
He's here. He's here.
But he's going to visit A&M tomorrow.
Don't love that.
No, but he's still coming to check it out.
Who are the other schools in the mix? Is Auburn in the mix? That's my question.
Adam Gorney of Rivals just posted a graphic today saying he's visiting Colorado today, A&M tomorrow.
Okay.
That's all we know.
Texas kid, junior. Mm-hmm. So 1 year of eligibility.
Yeah, he came in from JUCO 2 years ago, I believe.
Maybe 2 years then.
I think he played at Liberty in 22.
Oh, okay. But they're coming off an amazing season, 13-0.
Yeah, best G5. We'll be a playoff team this time next year.
That's exactly right. So, I mean, that'd be an incredible get. He's projected at safety?
I think so.
More of a do-it-all DB?
Yeah, I mean, kind of a Roderick Wardick situation where you can move him around just kind of where you need him. Yeah. Obviously, we just went through it. I mean, we're pretty deep at safety. We've got some top guys that we already are expecting a lot from, plus Jaden Milner-Jones.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And, I mean, how many of these athletes are going to find their permanent home at safety?
Right.
Like Draylon Miller, that could entirely be where he settles in, is at safety.
Cam Michael.
Yeah.
That's what Cam Michael was primarily being recruited as, was a defensive back at college.
Well, that's speed.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Next guy. We talked about him last time you did this show with me when we did our portal wish list a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Aeneas Peebles, Duke defensive lineman. He's down to 5 schools. We're doing transfer portal top 5s now.
Oh, man.
What a day.
Time. What a time. I love it.
Those 5 are Louisville, Missouri, Virginia Tech, SMU, and Colorado.
Interesting group.
Pretty interesting group.
I like the Buffs' chances.
I do too.
Does he want immediate playing time, you know? That's one of the big selling points the Buffs will have on
I'd imagine so. He was a senior last year. I think this is a grad transfer.
Yeah, so he has to.
Last season for the Blue Devils, 40 tackles, 4 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 8.5 tackles for a loss. He also had 2 pass breakups and 4 quarterback hits.
Yeah, pretty productive guy.
So he's at least in the mix. We'll see if he takes a visit this weekend. Next guy, one of our own. We already mentioned his name today. Anthony Hankerson's found a home. He's going to play at Oregon State with Van Wells.
I love the shout out that Coach Prime gave him on Twitter saying they got a dog.
Yep.
I loved seeing that. Which is kind of exactly what you'd expect. But it's great to see that with this class of players, the guys who've been with him a year, getting that love when they're going. You know?
Tank was going on a visit to Oregon State as well. So it could be 3 former Buffs that end up staying in the, are we still calling it the Pac-12, Pac-2, Pacific Mountain Athletic Coastal Conference?
As long as they play basketball, let's call it the Pac-12. We'll deal with the intricacies of a new name once basketball season's over, okay? Promise?
All right, I like that.
Good.
So last night, Coach Kelly was out doing his thing, man. He's been doing a lot of recruiting, a lot of in-house visits. Our guy Mantrez Walker, I don't know if you've been around when we've talked about him, but he's a 2025 linebacker out of Buford High School. 3-star player, was committed to Michigan at one point. Coach Kelly in-house visited with him, and he wasn't done there. He went to Buford High School and offered like 5 kids scholarships.
Love that.
The most notable being defensive lineman Bryce Petty Wright, who is a 5-star in the 2026 class.
Not bad. What position, sorry?
Defensive lineman.
That's huge.
They also offered 2025 3-star Jordan Allen. They also offered 2026 linebacker CJ Sibley. 2026 defensive lineman James Morrow, and that's it. But they're tapping into one of the hotbeds in the southeastern part of the country.
Yeah. You like that. And I mean, those 3 stars, what could they be rated on a couple years, you know?
Exactly.
So you love to see that. That's kind of a trend. They were doing that last year where it was like, oh, yeah, they landed in a high school in Alabama and like 4 guys got an offer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this is the last year's #1 recruiter in the country doing work at one of the best high schools in the country. You love to see it.
Yeah, it's huge. Really important.
Last piece I got today, Elijah Melendez, another guy we've talked about, a linebacker from Osceola High School in Kissimmee, Florida, 247 Sports Composite, 4-star, 2025 player, but he put out a top 8. Bunch of blue bloods, Penn State, Miami, Alabama, Ohio State, USC, Georgia, Michigan, and CU.
My goodness.
How about that?
Wow. Pretty crazy.
What a time.
Yeah, that list alone really tells you where the Buffs have come in this short Prime era.
And then last one, another visit this weekend. Right before we went live, Adam Munster Tiger published this on Buff Stampede. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Chidozie Nwankwo.
Woo!
Yeah?
Edge from Houston?
Defensive lineman from Houston.
Big time. Good job.
Thank
Good
you,
job,
thank you.
Jake. Chat, if you have notes, give it to him. But we more or less approved of that off air before going on the
Chidozie
show.
Nwankwo.
Good job, man. Love it.
A little undersized, listed at 5'11", 295. He plays defensive line. But last year had 25 tackles, 5 TFLs. He had a sack. He also had a blocked kick. He's coming to visit this weekend, though.
You love that.
So they are working on a defensive line. I'm sure we'll see sometime soon tomorrow. Thank you, chat. I appreciate you guys.
What do you think's going to be the mix? Like 50-50 true freshman transfer kind of upperclassmen for that edge room?
Like all the guys who have entered the portal from Ohio State and Georgia. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, I mean, they're already going after some transfers. That we talked about the Duke kid, the Houston kid. You expect that to be more 75% transfers?
In the edge room?
Yeah. A room like that, you got to kind of rebuild from the...
Look, I think you need to at least get 2 transfer edges, maybe even 3, that are veterans that can come in and just be like, all right, this guy is going to compete for a starting job right away. If not, just plug and play, be the starter. Right. I do think Arden Walker could emerge as a starter. JD and Nick Williams were very high on him at the end of last year. DV Harris is a guy who came in and did some things at times. So
Yeah, I feel you. I worry about DV, but maybe not being big enough. But
yeah, I mean it was one of their weaknesses going into last year, and it still is right now.
yeah,
But
for sure.
we'll see what emerges this weekend.
Raheem Sanders hit the portal?
Yeah, he already committed too. Didn't he
Nuts.
go to another SEC
Arkansas
school?
to South Carolina. Yeah, he went from a Razorback to a Gamecock. Crazy.
Actually, one more thing.
Let's do it.
So we were talking about who could be the next to commit to Colorado yesterday, and Ryan threw out Will Shepherd. He still hasn't committed. We don't know where he's going yet, but he put out the picture, the iconic screen grab of LeBron James sitting in the Boys and Girls Club. Where is it, in Florida or
Oh gosh.
wherever he did the decision?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere like in around Canton or Akron.
Oh, that's right. It was in Ohio, I think. Anyways, he tweeted out that screenshot and has still not made a decision. So I thought when he said that we were close, like it was going to follow up. All right, 30 minutes. Here's where I'm going. No, we're still waiting.
It's great. The vibes feel really good around this world.
Not bad.
I just worry about that booster in the SEC who, with his wife, made the decision to put all their Christmas
The
money
South Carolina guy?
Yeah, into
You
the
know-
little Shepherd recruiting.
You know what's funny
Instead
about
of
that, though?
Christmas gifts, I like that.
Did you see that they actually got a Vandy receiver, though? South Carolina?
Did they?
Yeah. It wasn't Will Shepherd, though.
Oh, jeez.
So the guy got his wish.
I feel bad for those kids. Like, South Carolina football is just not worth giving up your Christmas gifts for. And I
Jaden
love
McGowan.
ball.
That's who it was.
Yeah.
So they got one of them, but yeah, those poor kids.
Poor kids, man.
At least you got Jaden McGowan.
Good job. Way to go, Dad.
You ready to get into all the spiciness from yesterday, Dre?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Shout out to our great friends at Breckenridge Brewery. You guys know we love our Breck beers here at DNVR. The beer of the month here at the DNVR bar is the Christmas Ale, Andre. Are you feeling in the Christmas spirit?
Yeah, and I love the Christmas Ale. It's dope. It's good stuff.
It is great. Breckenridge Brewery has a ton of great beers. You can try some of our favorites: Mountain Beach Sour, the Avalanche Amber, the Fun Slinger, or just the Broncos Country Pale Ale. They've been doing it for 33 years. It all comes down to their love and passion for making good beer. To find some Breck Brew near you, check out their beer locator at www.breckbrew.com. And then also our great friends at Olipop. And Dre is... what do you got over there?
I'm a full-blown addict. I saw these out in the wild over the weekend, with the girls. We went on a shopping trip to Target.
Uh-huh.
It's basically where we go every other day, just drop $200 at Target on stuff we don't need. Yep. I'm enjoying a Dr. Goodwin. When I saw these at Target over the week, I just started salivating.
Wow, you're in deep.
I am in deep. I think my power rankings are
Let's hear them.
orange soda.
Okay, good one.
It's like orange. It's like healthy orange crush, and
Classic.
I'm all in on the Broncos.
Yeah.
Like, come on, that's Denver sports history. Root beer, cream soda, grape, original cola, then Dr. Goodwin.
Wow.
I gotta get in on some of these other ones. I've tried cherry vanilla. I'm trying to figure out where that ranks yet. There's a lot of flavors. They're good stuff, and I'm told it's good for me.
Yeah, only 2 to 5 grams of sugar from natural sources in every can.
You don't think they're sweet? They're
and
yummy.
also 9 grams of prebiotics, Dre. Could help your gut health.
I need it. No doubt. I need that big time. That's why I eat all those bananas,
That's true.
So,
Big
Olipop,
banana guy.
thank you.
Don't they have a banana soda too? Have
They
you got
do.
in on that?
They do. I've heard mixed reviews.
Okay.
So I've just held back because I don't want everything I've done with Olipop thus far is
It's
beautiful.
been a hit. Yeah.
That's right. So I'm just holding off so I'm in the right mind space.
Come to our tailgates. We've got Olipop there, or use the code DNVR20 for 20% off your next Olipop order on drinkolipop.com. Olipop can also be found in over 22,000 stores across the country, including King Soopers, Safeway, Walmart, Target, Whole Foods, and Sprouts. Oh, baby.
So
Woo!
wasn't Alyssa producing the show the last couple of days? Why is everyone
Yeah.
so hyped Alyssa's back? Alyssa's been back since Tuesday, no? Am I missing something, Alyssa?
Well, we had Yaya harassing
Monday.
people on Monday. Yeah. Not harassing people.
They'll have to start with the movie.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Alyssa's back and fully locked in now.
No doubt.
All right.
Oh, boy.
So episode 3 of Coach Prime came out last night. If you haven't seen it already, my favorite episode thus far. We watched this one last week at the premiere. And it's all about Nebraska and CSU week.
I mean, the weeks that define this season. Really.
Yes, pretty much. We went through the whole Nebraska thing, the midfield stuff, the Shador, all that stuff that went on. And then we get to CSU week.
Yeah.
And we get to Jay Norvell talking about Coach Prime's mom, saying that he wasn't raised to speak to adults with his hat and sunglasses on.
Okay.
We go.
I think in a legal reconstruction, I think you maybe jumped the shark there. Coach Norvell said the thing about hats and glasses.
Yes.
Without speaking directly about Coach Prime's mom. Just let the setup unfold.
Okay.
Don't jump the shark.
Oh, go ahead
Right?
then.
Okay.
What did I miss?
No, I mean he did specifically say that about Coach Prime's mom.
Right.
He said, when I speak to adults,
Yeah.
I
take off my hats and sunglasses. Is what he said.
Right, totally. Which, good for you. I do business meetings dressed like this, and I don't give a shit. I was just talking off air. I could not care less about exterior appearance, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're a poor speller. Fuck if I care. Is your content good? That's what matters to me. Okay, now continue. I just wanted to clarify that.
Anyways, we finally got to hear, after everything that happened in that game, Henry Blackburn knocking Travis Hunter out on a vicious late hit, the crazy comeback for CSU, the overtime, what happened,
game day,
game day, all that stuff,
all of it.
What happened at midfield between Coach Prime and Jay Norvell?
As the students are rushing the field and overtime has been won.
Yep. Our great friend and co-host Ryan Koenigsberg, RK, tweeted this out. Let's play it, Alyssa.
And in this video, are we going to hear Shador first?
Oh, yeah.
Because I think
you hear
that's
Shador in this, too. Yes.
Listen for Shador first, and then... It's okay. It's coming. You guys are all hyped about Alyssa. Just chill out.
Congratulations. And I was never talking about your family. I was talking about my mom. Yes, you are. You are. Congratulations. And I was never talking about your family. I was talking about my mom. Yes, you are. You are.
So,
You talking about my mama dog? One of the great quotes about all time.
incredible
quote.
Also, Shador at the beginning is saying, don't put your hands on him. Don't shake his hand. Don't give him a hug.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this gets posted. That tweet gets posted.
Yeah.
And then who else but Kim Norvell, Jay Norvell's wife, the head coach of CSU football,
Yes.
sees this on Twitter
Yes.
and decides she has to say something about it. Do you know what she says?
Yeah.
Shador acted like a bee, otherwise a bitch.
Right.
When-
She chose not to, but we can say it on this podcast. There
Right.
you go. Yeah.
So she said Shador acted like a bitch when Jay turned his back after trying to talk to his dad and held up his watch. The wife of a Division I head football coach calling a 21-year-old kid a bitch.
Yeah, it wasn't awesome. Wasn't not a super duper look for I mean, it's not a super duper look for these two, the two highest paid public employees of the state of Colorado, and this all unfolding months after. And it's really not a great look for Kim.
No, it's not a great look for CSU at all.
No, it's not. It's not.
I mean, look, I think Prime stood on business, and I think that's what you expect out of him. He's not going to pull any punches. He's not going to mess around. Basically, you mess with the bull, you get the horns type of thing.
Yeah. You're talking about my mama, dog.
You're talking about my mama. But yeah, Kim Norvell went off last night.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting night on Twitter.
She didn't stop after one.
No.
There was
many tweets.
many tweets. Yeah.
That are all
awesome.
deleted now.
Good. Good. That's great. You guys all have nights on Twitter like that sometimes, and I'm just like, oh boy. Just got to cringe through it,
I feel like I've been okay on Twitter recently.
You're pretty good.
I stand on business too, though.
You do stand on business. You do stand on business, yeah.
But they stoked the flames for a game that's 9 months out that was already kind of circled for both teams. Man, CU and Buff Nation are going to go in there, take over that stadium, and they're going to beat the hell out of the Rams next year.
I wonder if game day will be back again.
They got to. They've got to.
That was the sentiment going into the game last year as well.
Yeah.
It's rivalry games. They mean a little more.
We need to have a game day segment with Coach Prime and Coach Norvell just sitting on opposite sides of the table. That's what we need.
We're available. Studio's available, guys. We want to talk this out.
Yeah, if they want to do it here too, we can just set them right here in these chairs.
Absolutely do that. I can't believe that game and the Nebraska game will be Fort Collins and Lincoln, huh?
Yeah. Both of them at home this year, and we're on the road both next year.
Boy.
Get ready. Get ready.
Oh, man. If we thought it was spicy before, man, it's going to be Spicy, spicy, spicy.
Can't
Jeez
wait.
Louise.
But yeah, we'll table this. We'll table this talk for another time.
You like the rivalry? You like the spice?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I have a unique perspective on this rivalry just because last year was really my only exposure to it. I've seen the debate plenty, and I know the
15
history.
years I've been rolling my eyes at the rivalry. Last year it felt like the first time in a long while since the early 2000s where they really were like, oh shit, this is why you guys hate each other. I forgot.
Yeah, I mean, I love the hate.
Yeah.
I love the.
That's
I mean, it's what college football's
grade.
about. Yeah,
There you go. Jinx.
exactly. So, but it does feel like we're expecting CU to be a lot better next year, right?
Yeah.
And they're recruiting at a much higher level than they already were last year. This team's going to be better. I don't see CSU matching up in that regards with the recruiting.
Yeah, I mean, early.
It is early.
Early to
Very
say.
early.
But yeah, on paper, you would think so.
I can't wait for this game, though.
Oh, man.
We need to, whoever's listening out there, we need to get a watch endorsement going for DNVR for that week. Something. That way we can just throw it up all week
Oh,
long.
man.
I can't wait.
That's going to be a crazy one. Yeah, and we're already stoking the flames in mid-December.
I mean, we didn't do anything. Well, I guess Ryan did.
Yeah, no, Ryan.
He's just posting content, though.
Kim shouldn't have been in as
I mean,
much as...
yeah.
My advice to Kim Norvell would be, if you have spicy takes, start a podcast. Way easier to not get caught on your spicy takes on a pod than on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Tweets, they kind of last forever.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they do.
Well, podcast, I mean, you know, have fun searching through the hours of it, you know? That's why if you see any of my AP rants, that's why I save them for podcasts.
Right.
Shout out to our guys. Yeah, and then you had an epic Pearl Street interview.
So,
You want to explain that one?
but
to us?
yeah, I'll explain it to you. So when we did my interview thing, they asked me a ton of questions, right?
Yeah.
And this was, I want to say, right after the USC or right before the USC game.
Uh-huh.
So about halfway through the season. Fridays for me, just for context, during game week, I work. We have a pregame show. Like, there's stuff to do. Draft pod, all kinds of stuff. I don't get to go down to Pearl Street and participate in the Stampede. Have not been able to. So anyways, they asked me what the Pearl Street Stampede was.
Uh-huh.
And I faked it till I made it, and I gave them an answer. I was
Wow.
like, wow, all right, well, I kind of made it through. They put it in the show, Dre.
I can't believe that.
Yes.
That of all the questions, that's the one they used.
Yes.
Terrible.
I told them, I was like, I've never been, but I can kind of describe it for you. They're like, yeah, sure, that works.
But maybe that was a better description than what, and you know, like the people watching it for the most part, they haven't been either.
I mean, true.
So might just have been the best explanation for a casual, you know?
So anyways, yeah, never been to the Stampede. I know plenty about it, of course. But I'm there talking about the Stampede in the Coach Prime documentary like I've been there for forever, like Ryan has.
20-year bet. Yeah, that's great. I love that. But great insights. Great insights by you,
Thank
Jake.
you.
Yeah, good job.
I had quite a few appearances in episode 3.
You
I got to throw up the Shador and everything,
oh
bro.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Incredible. What a time.
Fake it till you make it, exactly. Peggy
Right.
doesn't let work keep her from the Stampede.
I think Peggy's been retired for a few years now. She better be. She's 98, you know? Like, I need Peggy to be retired.
I mean, look, all love to the Stampede, but I'd rather do the pregame show with Ryan and Neely on Friday nights. I mean,
That's
sorry.
my-
I
that's
think
my
a lot of
guy.
people would rather me do that as well. So
That's my guy right there. That's my guy. Absolutely.
shout out to our friends at Shady Rays. Wow, what a fitting placement for this one. If you want to piss off the Rams fans and Jay Norvell and Kim Norvell, head on over to Shady Rays
Yeah.
and
right.
get 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. They've got hundreds of combinations, strong durable frames, and clear polarized optics. Every pair backed by their lost and broken replacement program. Even if you don't like your Shady Rays, you can return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back. Again, exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com. Use that code DNVR for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. So piss off the Rams fans. Try for yourself. The Shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people.
You were talking about my mama, dog.
And then our great friends at Breck Distillery. You a Breck Distillery fan?
Yeah.
Have you tried
Sweet.
what is it, Alyssa? Do you remember? It's like the espresso vodka or something like that.
Oh, I have tried that.
Yeah.
I mean, I once was down for an entire tasting at the bar. It's pretty epic. Pretty
It's
epic.
delicious.
I had to pump the brakes at one point and be like, okay, well, it's like 2 p.m. I've got some meetings after this, but delightful stuff.
Yep.
Delightful stuff.
They are the world's highest distillery, founded in 2008. Most widely known for their blended bourbon whiskey, a high rye mash, American-style whiskey. They also got their Broncos Blizzard. That's their new vodka commemorating the first white alternate Broncos helmets. Come try them at our tailgates. Come try their Reiki seltzers here at the DNVR bar. Breckenridge Distillery products are available in all 50 states. Shop your local retailer at BreckenridgeDistillery.com for home delivery. Award-winning Breckenridge spirits. Opry anywhere.
Nailed it. Way to go.
We did it. What's up, chat? What do you guys want to talk about?
Oh, wow.
Justin's asking, does Tyler Brown start? I think so.
You think?
I think so. I think if we had to field a team today, I think Tyler Brown is your starting center.
Today, yes. By week 1, week 0, my money would be on no.
On who?
On no.
Oh,
I
no.
think, the 3 guys they've brought in on the interior already have a tad of a leg up right now.
I mean, look, we're all huge Tyler Brown fans here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they've brought in multiple guards.
Yeah.
That's his position that he was projected to start at this year before this whole waiver nonsense came through.
3 left guards. He's the 4th.
And then we have Zelinskis at center, who kind of was just the plug-and-play guy last year when Van couldn't go.
Right. So that's 5 guys for 3 spots. I think, yeah, if I'm projecting out to the season, I would right now have him on the outside looking in. No, I mean, he's completely reshaped his body from the guy who was at Jackson State, and he was a
Yes.
hell of a left guard at Jackson State, you
Yep.
know, so
All swag.
it'll be really interesting to see. You just love that they have all that depth.
I mean, the interior offensive line is really great right now.
Yeah.
Especially compared to where we were just 3 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, it's incredible. Absolutely.
I mean, the guards were the weakest spot in the offensive line.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Eric asked, what dark horse do you see Colorado getting to flip? Dark horse? That's tough, man. Because the 2 guys that are the leaders are obviously Boo Carter and Jaquan McCroy. Boo
Yeah.
Carter committed to Tennessee. McCroy committed to Oregon.
Right.
We can throw CL3's name out there, Charles Lester III.
Yeah.
He
yeah.
did commit to FSU back in the summer. Had the Buffs were right there. He came out here multiple times.
King's still uncommitted, so he doesn't count.
King Joseph Edwards is still uncommitted.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it's a dark horse, but my money would be on McRoy.
I think he's coming.
I just think the opportunity at right tackle is going to be quite enticing.
Yep.
So,
Ryan
Yeah.
talks about it too, though. But starting 2 true freshmen at the tackles, makes me a little nervous. Not gonna lie.
yeah, it makes you nervous now when they're sophomores and juniors in a couple years and they're like the best pass rush, offensive tackle
That is
duo in the
true.
country.
They've got 20 games plus started
Yeah,
already.
right. Like, you're going to love that. It's just a matter of coaching, man. Like, where can you have those true freshmen at
Right.
by conference play starting? That's really what matters.
We'll see what Phil Lodeholt has for us.
Yeah, for sure.
What's next? Ron's asking, forget the visit to us signed. I mean, signing day is not till the 20th for recruits, and then, I mean, For the transfers who have committed, I don't really know when they like officially enroll. If it's like scattered, I guess, like they kind of do it on their own time before the semester, or if there's like a day. So I think that's the best I can answer that question right now. No one is technically signed, I don't think. At least the freshmen.
Once that happens, it'll be real nice, though.
Warren P with the super chat, just because with the deuces. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for your support.
Yeah, technically the transfers would have had to sign, right?
See, I don't know, because we even had guys like last year, Marshawn Nealand. He was coming in from Western Michigan, and we thought he was he had a locker in the locker room and stuff, and then he just left, went back to Western Michigan.
Wow.
We had a few guys also that committed and flipped as transfers as well. So, I mean, the transfer portal is just the Wild West, bro. It's kind of just like do whatever you want at this point.
But eventually, once you get to the program and you've committed, you're going to have to sign something to be on that Scully and make that official.
Right. Like they're going to have to enroll in the school. I
Yeah.
just don't know if there's like a transfer. I don't think there's a transfer signing day where it's like
right. No,
they sit all the transfers down and sign on the dotted line, you know?
Right. Okay.
What's up, Sean? Is asking, there's a Colorado-based watch company called Vortis's Watch Company that might be down for sponsoring DNVR. Get on it, Dre.
Okay. We'll put in some work.
Robbie's asking, JD McClendon, Taj Alston, and Rod Ward declared for the draft after Zay Weaver. Who do you think will get drafted the highest? Great question. It's got to be Zay, right?
Zay.
Who would
It's
you...
between Zay and Jordan.
Right.
But yeah, I'd give the edge to Zay significantly. His game just really translates. You know, he's really savvy. His hands are good. He gets open. He's got a good combination of size and speed. Like, he belongs in the NFL. Jordan belongs as well. Last year was disappointing. And the explosiveness, the bend, you know, kind of like some of those higher end traits that really make a great edge rusher, he falls a bit short of. So while the production has been there at times, he's also older, which doesn't help.
Yeah.
So I would say Zay.
I'd probably say Zay and JD again. Rod Ward's kind of a wild card just because he did play. He made some starts. I just don't know if he has enough like P5 film to really entice like NFL teams for selection.
Yeah, and those jack of all trade DBs, like, they're awesome to watch and they do so much. I don't think they're valued highly. I think they're seen as very like run of the mill in the NFL, man.
Well, just safety position in general has been devalued so much.
100%. 100%.
Good question though. Zay top 50? Is that too rich?
I think that's too rich just because of how loaded the wide receivers are.
Top 100.
I think that's the range you're starting to think about them in. Yeah, for sure. Like, especially if the combine, you know, performs well, is running like a low 4.5, stuff like that. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think you could start thinking of top 100.
Jasmine asks if we're surprised that there hasn't been more CU players entering the portal. And do you expect more portal entrants after spring ball? First question, no, I'm not really surprised just because they brought in so many transfers last year that there's only so many guys who can immediately enter the portal and get that eligibility for next year.
It's what you and Ryan were talking about, where like the more likely guys were going to be the guys that were holdovers from the Carl Durrell era. And that's exactly what we saw. Those guys got out real early, and then it's kind of settled down.
Yep. The freshmen could also, last year's freshmen, also have immediate eligibility to transfer too.
Right. Yep.
We saw Kason Wiseman enter the portal.
Yep.
He was buried on the depth chart at quarterback. He was a Sean Lewis commit.
Right.
That's the only like guy who came in last year, freshman, that has entered the portal so far. After spring ball, definitely. I think some guys will absolutely enter the portal.
Yeah, last year that was massive.
That was the big exodus. And that's also when guys who like transferred in the winter re-entered the portal,
Right.
Because they figured out it wasn't going to work here.
Yeah.
Damien asked, "Do you think Bishop Thomas will get looks at tight end this year?" he had some in high school and was a problem. He has one of the dopest high school highlight tapes I've ever seen.
We know Deion. We've talked about it. And when Bishop had that, he had like a play at fullback, I think the game after we talked about it on the episode. His tight end highlights are awesome. Bishop has so much talent. It just needs to be figured out and be consistent with his conditioning and play and everything, you know?
Didn't hurt that he got didn't help that he got hurt last year as well. But a guy who I think needs to get a bit stronger also, and just as you said, consistency.
Yeah.
Super chat from Mark. Still thinks CU needs a game-breaking running back. Thoughts? I still believe in Ultimate McCaskill's ability.
Absolutely. And I mean, Dylan Edwards, like, yeah, he's undersized, but in modern college football, that's a guy who can get 20 touches a game, no problem.
Right.
And yeah, between those two alone, I think you've got some game-breaking ability in year 2, you know?
We did just get a portal entry. Shout out to Sean for letting us know. Owen Westemeyer.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
No.
I believe this is a walk-on
Well,
from last year.
all the walk-ons, you know?
A lot of walk-ons have entered the portal.
I know, that just doesn't free up any Scullies.
No. So it's kind of a non-factor. Sean again, do y'all expect more portal entrance nationwide after the ruling yesterday? See, did we talk about this?
No.
So did you see that like an Ohio judge ruled or like put up a restraining order that for the next 14 days, if you haven't been able to get a waiver for eligibility, it's now waived. Like there's an ASU guy on the hoops team who's allowed to play for the next 14 days, but he didn't get a waiver for eligibility. But after those 14 days, he kind of just, depending on the lawsuit, because they have another court date on the 27th, how that goes, he could be allowed to play or not play.
It's not good,
It's a
man.
disaster.
Yeah, that's really not good. They have to figure this out. Like, what is even the point of the NCAA if we just do not have a governing body for these sports? It's frustrating, man. I can't imagine being a kid stuck in these kind of situations.
Just with the way that it's gone for basketball, I don't think we'll see more portal entries because of this, because it sounds like it's literally for this 14-day period. So maybe if you're on a team who's got a bowl game in that 14-day period and you've been ruled ineligible, you could be able to play if you're ready to.
Right.
But I don't think you'll see people entering the portal specifically because of that. Anything else today? That's it.
Good stuff.
Appreciate you, Dre.
You, man.
You made it through,
Appreciate you.
bro.
We did it. We did it. Come on.
Shout out to you guys, chat. Dre or someone will be here sitting next to me tomorrow. Or maybe not sitting next to me. Maybe virtually.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Anything is possible.
Tune in tomorrow. Go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.